Well, hey guys, back here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. Well, we got a great big ball of fire in the sky. It's called the sun. We got a nice day today. I thought I would fire up the sawmill and cut a few pieces of deck wood for the trailer, and I'll show you why. So this is a Trail Max trailer, a TD40T, and tandem axle tilt bed, and there's a few deck boards here that are needing to be replaced. As you can see, they're rotten in here. I mean, I don't have any problem running up here with the backhoe or anything like that, but they're starting to rock and get loose, so it's time to get these changed out. They're 2x10s, and so I took measurements here to verify when I go over the sawmill, get a log or something like that. I think I might just go ahead and cut the log long enough. We'll cut it out of a 10-foot log, because eventually I'm going to have to replace this decking back here too. It's probably the next to go. Right now it's not really holding down the front, this expanded metal. That expanded metal is to help get traction for like a vehicle that's got tires on it, and the excavator, it's got rubber tracks. In case this is icy or something like that, the machine will walk right up this with no problem. A tracked vehicle, like it's got steel tracks on it, it does okay, but it gets kind of sketchy sometimes. But anyway, yeah, I'll need to cut some more boards for this eventually. So I think what I'll do is depending on what I have out there to work with, I'll cut 10-foot lengths or even a 12-foot length, so I can cut these pads right here, 9.5 inches wide, and then they have a 45-degree bevel on each side, with a 90-degree cut on the very end. So we'll go over to the other property and get started. There you go. Well, we got Cody way over there in the brush harassing a squirrel. Cody, come. You got him treed, huh? Come. Come here. What are you doing? Nasty old squirrels, huh? I'm not sure if this is sound or not. We got these this white fungus or whatever this stuff is. This is Sitka spruce, but it has a tendency to rot relatively fast. But I might get surprised with this. Again, it's just going to be decking for the trailer. Once it's cut into boards and it's got air on all sides, it should be in pretty good shape. A lot of the tilt beds and low boys and different things like that around here utilize spruce because it is a strong wood. As a matter of fact, for its weight, it's the strongest wood, from what I understand. They used to make airplanes and all kinds of stuff out of them, the old biplanes, you know, like in World War I. Matter of fact, they logged a lot of that spruce from this area. So anyway, I'll just go ahead and get it on the mill, see if we can open it up and see what it looks like. Things here that has made me do some unconventional cutting. Part of the log is rotten and part of it is sound. So right in here, this is all rot in here. It's pretty punky, and we want to cut out the sapwood on it so I can get my 9.5-inch board, but I have to turn this in such a way that I get that cut out. So it's going to be kind of a wedge-shaped piece here and a fairly straight piece here. I think I might just take 4 inches off of this side, and that should clear any of that rot. Well, maybe less than 4 inches, 3, 2.5, something like that. Anyway, each board has to be cut special because the rot lays in different areas of the board. So I'll take this knot out here, this big ugly knot. Again, it's just decking for a trailer, but you know, you want to get the best cut you can out of it. I'm not going to waste any of this wood. I'm going to put it in the fireplace. Here's some specks of rot right here. So we'll have to resaw the top and the bottom. It's going to be kind of an angular piece to get that 9.5-inch clean board out of it, but I think it's going to work out pretty good. I was a little concerned. It would have been better to cut these green, but I had a lot going on this last year. So anyhow, I'll get this cut. Pretty good here. You can see where it starts having a shape like this. That means the softwood is, or the summer wood is rotting a little bit. However, this piece will be a lot better than the piece that's on there. And I have to take cuttings off of this anyway. This right here is really sound, really fresh. This right here is pretty fresh right here. There's a little flecks of just a little bit of rot starting to happen right in here. This side looks really good. Looks really fresh. So I had to kind of cut around some of that stuff. And that's what part of what took me so long. Incorporated some help with me today. We're back at the house, and we're back at the trailer. So this is what we're dealing with here, is this old rotten piece of deck. And I got my new pieces here. Come back over here, buddy. Thank you. And we got our new deck boards. And I cut them to length, and then I also beveled the one edge. These are all beveled on the edges here. So I got all my stuff in place here to do some screw removals, deck screws. These are T40 heads on here. Some of them are going to come out. The 3 that I worked on did come out, so I'm just anticipating them all not coming out. But I'll get out what I can. And then we might have to take the little saw over here and just cut the rest of them out, and then chisel them out, beat them out, you know, the old wood, and then to where we can get on each one of these heads and remove these. I also got some penetrating oil. Are we doing this right, buddy? Yeah. Got some penetrating oil. This one here is trying to be difficult. I did get it to move, and then it got locked up again. So they're actually a little bit longer screws than we need. You can see where the top of the deck is and where it was sealed right there. But there's a lot left in here that we don't really need. So I got some shorter deck screws that will just penetrate. That's the right size in my opinion. But who am I to say? The manufacturer put these on here, so I suppose I'm probably wrong then. This screw here I've had soaking for a good bit, and so I thought I would try to work it back and forth with the set of channel locks. There, it tried to move. Have an impact driver. That work back and forth. Well, that one doesn't want to come out. So we'll just let it soak for a little while and work on something else. We got all but this one here out. This can actually just come out of here now. Bottle opener with my utility knife here, or multi-tool, and clean out the tops of these. Get them as clean as I possibly can so I can get the most contact with the bit to keep from stripping the head out, breaking the tip of the number 40 bit off. in the top of here. I'll get them as deep and as clean as I can. Now a guy might be asking, why don't you just cut them off and just drill new holes in there? Well, I kind of like to use the existing holes if I can. It's not critical, but I would like to. Well, I hate to say it, Jace, but I think I might have to cut and split them out of there, little buddy. Well, that's how I'd like them all to come out, Jace, buddy. See that? Yeah. Well, that's a thing of beauty, buddy. That just helps me out right there. Wonderful. What? What do you need? What are you looking for, buddy? Look at here. Who's that? That Papa and Woolly Booger Monkey Toes? Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Well, Papa needs to go get some more batteries. What do you think about all this, buddy? We got one board out. We got all the deck bolts out, or deck screws, except for this back row. I broke one off right here. Trying to work it back and forth. But I think the last four, I'm going to have to do something a little different. Oh yeah, we got an axe and a spud bar, digging bar, and we'll see if we can surgically remove these things. These might all have to be re-drilled, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Might all have to be re-drilled. Now, there's a couple of different ways a guy can do this. He can either, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to mark along this exposed cleat here, pencil marks. I could make little cleats out of this, out of these old screws, screw them into the original holes, and hit it with a hammer or something like that, and mark the backside, and then drill holes from the backside so I can intersect these same holes again. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't so well. It's a little slower to do it that way. I figured I would just go ahead and establish to myself where the old broken off, this trailer's been redecked before, I just found out. I can tell by the old bolts on here were broke off. Old bolts were broke off, and they just drilled new holes into the deck. So it's been redecked twice. This will be the third time. And so what I'll do is I'm going to mark out where all of the old broke off bolts are, and mark out where those are at, so I don't send the drill bit down in there and catch one of those, because it'll break the drill bit for sure. So I'll do that, and then just take measurements on this inside rib on a piece of paper, and then just measure every time I drill a single hole. I've only got 3 of those to do, so it won't be no big deal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the measurements on here on the center rib, I'll measure from this side. So we have 5 inches. I already pre-fitted the wood off camera and went and got some drill bits. So the first drill bit that I'm going to use, I'm going to drill down in and drill clear through the wood metal deck. And then the second, I have 2. This is a smaller bit. It's just smaller than the shank on the screws. You can tell these are self-tapping because they have these little rough areas right here, and so they self-tap into the deck, into the trailer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the first hole with this one. This will go all the way through the wood. It'll be a pilot hole, and it'll go all the way through the metal on the trailer. And then I'll remove the wood, and then I will use this bit to make the hole a little larger, so the bolts or the screws will just drop right into the wood and just go right immediately to the deck. So that'll suck the deck down tight against the metal, and so I think that's the best way to do it. So that's the way I'm going to do it. Okay, so I have my lines, pencil lines, scribed at where each one of the old broke off studs are. So when I go to drill the new holes, I'm just going to set over, avoid those holes, and we should be good to go. I got all these measured out fairly equally, offset a few of them because they did come and overlap where I was supposed to be, and or kind of overlapped where an existing old broken off bolt was. So let's just go ahead and get started. That wraps up this project. Thanks for stopping by. Take care and God bless.